We're going to get started in 1 second. We're just waiting for something to reset. All right, good evening. Welcome to the August meeting for the Town of Poughkeepsie Zoning Board of Appeals. Would you please rise for Pledge of Allegiance? Thank you very much. Attendance, Christine, Art, Linda on the other side,
Here.
Tony, and Larry. Here. Okay. We do have a quorum tonight. So for the format tonight, we do have a hybrid format. The website's available on the address is available on the website. We will take an agenda. If nobody doesn't have an agenda, there's agendas up front here. We'll take it in the order that it's listed. We will take all testimony from the audience. We'll take testimony from the applicant. After they're done, the board will have the opportunity to ask questions. We'll open it up to any comments here in the audience and then on Zoom, should anybody have any. And then once we close the public hearing, we won't take any more comments at that time. We do have a pretty lengthy agenda tonight, so we will be taking probably a quick break later on. And then we'll make a decision on everything that's here. For anybody who's waiting for a decision, you can wait here to the end of the meeting, or you can call the zoning administrator in the morning for what the outcome is. So why don't we start? Number 1 is 55 Scenic Drive. Anybody here?
Is that better? Can you hear it better now? I apologize for that. Yeah.
Yes, thank you so much.
Okay. That was your fault.
Would you state your name, please?
Yes.
I don't know that
You
they're
want
the
to do that?
applicant.
Do that instructions again?
Yeah. So 55 Scenic, can you state your name for the record, please?
Are you talking to me? I'm sorry?
What are you here for, Mr. Roberts?
Oh, I'm here for the variance at 9 Alfred Drive for the pool and deck and sheds.
Okay, we'll call you in just a minute. We're currently looking for anybody for 55 Scenic Drive.
That's usually Cuddy and Fader, and I
Oh,
assume they'll
okay.
either be online or they'll be arriving. They may have hit weather traffic. So
Okay.
we'll second call that one.
Okay, we can second call that. Number 2, there's been a request to adjourn that to the September 14th meeting. Yeah, we're gonna call it again. We'll allow it to be called, and comments be taken at that time. Okay? So, number 2 is 6468 Creek Road. That's been requested to adjourn to September 14th. Second. Okay, all those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. Number 3 was already put on the agenda for September 14th. That. So number 4, 44, is it Street Avenue? Okay, do you want to come up?
And just for the record, I have an email from the person from Cuddy and Fader. They're in traffic and they expect to be here shortly,
Okay.
so.
Hello, everyone.
Hello. So you were both sworn in last time, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so you're still under oath. So what has changed since last time?
We rehome the chicken, some of the chickens. We applied for the fence. We bought the material for the fence. So that's it.
So the application was to keep 30 chickens, I think it was the last time we were here.
Yes.
So you've rehomed from the 60,
Yeah. We kept 30.
30, and the ducks,
So we still have them because the farms that we ask, they are interested, some of them, but they're not ready yet. They need to get ready.
Okay. So you're still looking for 30 chickens and you still have the ducks to take care of, right? Okay. Can you just kind of high level what you're looking to do without all the details from last time, just because we have a couple board members that weren't here last time? So you currently have 16. You want to get to 30, right?
No, we have 30.
You have 30 now, okay?
Yes, we want to keep that.
Okay. Any additional information on that?
Excuse me?
Any additional information? So you had the fence, right?
So we're working on that. We have the material already. I have the receipt.
Okay.
We bought it today.
And the chicken coop that you currently have, how big is the square footage on that?
180 square feet, but we are willing to adjust to the size that you asked for,
Willing to adjust
the coop.
the coop size? Do we want to ask questions while I do the math? Do you want to go, Christine? Do you have any questions?
Go ahead. No, I think I asked last time, so if I think of anything, you're gonna know about.
Excuse me. Why do you want 30 chickens when you can only have 6?
Because we eat a lot of protein, and we we grow them organic. We make the food. Everything is organic. We know what we're putting in our body.
Their food or your food?
Both. So we make
That wasn't the question.
fermented food for the
The
chicken.
question was, why do you need 30 chickens, not what you're feeding them?
Oh, because I want to eat healthy and my family, and we eat a lot of protein, eggs, especially eggs. So we eat eggs every day.
Okay.
You're done?
Speak right into the mic, please.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Can you, if you could just speak a little bit louder, I'm having a little trouble hearing you.
No
So, you said you have 30 chickens, but on your June letter, and maybe it's changed, you said that you had more than 30 chickens.
Yes, we rehome on the rest of the chicken
Okay.
on Saturday.
So you only have 30 now,
Yes,
and you still have the baby ducklings and turkeys.
yes.
And how are you going about getting them
We
rehomed?
finding a home for them, but not everybody's ready to take them right away, so I'm waiting for some to get ready and let me know when they're ready. So
Are you
like
just looking with family and friends, or are you looking at like
farms.
farms and schools and all of that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, por allá. It's okay.
You mentioned that you were willing to adjust the coop size from 180 square feet. What would you,
Well, I can keep it like that. It's perfect. But
right,
if you need anything bigger for the 30 chicken, we can adjust it.
okay. Can you adjust it smaller too, or just bigger?
Just bigger because it's just for the requirement.
Okay. For the, how many you need, how much room you need per bird?
Yeah.
Um, and you mentioned the fence, so you ordered the fence today? Is
We
that-
bought them already. We just need to put them on.
So it just needs to be installed? That's all I have right now.
Larry?
On average, about how many eggs per day does each chicken produce?
16?
Hmm?
16
16
Per chicken?
per chicken?
per day.
Oh,
Oh, you say how many eggs per day I get?
no, per each chicken.
Oh, they don't lay every day.
Okay, so on the average, how many you get a day?
16 per day. We getting right now 16, 17.
That's a lot.
And these eggs are just for your personal use?
Yes. And I share them with my friends and family too.
That's all I have.
I do have a question. When you said that the ducks and the turkeys aren't ready, what do you mean?
They're not ready. The farms that I asked to
Okay,
accept them, then are ready, so they need to get ready. Like for the chicken, we waited like 4 weeks for the farm to be ready to receive them.
Okay, did they give you any idea how long that would be?
No, but they will call me, and I follow up too.
Okay, thank you.
So Lisa, you might be, so on here it says that it would be it would require a coop of 420 square feet.
If
If
30
we-
chickens were allowed and you go 14 feet, if my math is
So
right.
30, I get 360 square feet.
that's- 30 times 14 is 360.
30 times 14 equals 420.
So 420.
Yeah.
Sorry, just making.
That's okay.
So if it was to be granted, you would have to more than double the size of the coop that you currently have to accommodate the chickens?
Is that double?
So if it were granted,
If it
if
was
the board were to allow 30 chickens and stayed with the requirement of 14 feet per chicken, then the size of the coop would need to be 420 square feet. But the board, if you're inclined to grant any variance, can also vary the number of square feet per chicken, you know, any of those sizes.
So if we stuck what was written, it would be a coop that would have to be required to be 420 square feet, which more than doubles what you have. You'd be prepared to do that?
We're not gonna do it right away, but we can do it. You have to give us time.
Okay. I don't have any more questions. Thank you. Does anybody in the audience have any questions? Comments? Comments?
And what about on Zoom? If you're on Zoom, you can unmute yourself or raise your hand. Again, this is just about this particular application.
I have no comment.
Okay. You have a comment about this application? Go ahead. Is that Mr. Roberts?
I think he said he did not have.
Oh, you did not? Oh. Okay, he did not.
Nobody on Zoom? Okay, so I move to close this,
So you may want to have a discussion before you close the public hearing, because there are 5 members only here of the board. Depending on what action the board wants to take, the applicant may want to have more board members present or not. That's up to you. But before you decide whether you want to close the public hearing, you may want to give the applicant an indication of where the board might be leaning so she can decide if she wants to request that the public hearing remain open.
okay.
Would 3 to 2 pass? I mean, is that what it is
No.
right now?
You need 4, it's a 7-member board, so you need 4 members of this board to agree on a number of chickens or a size of coop or some combination thereof.
And we're missing 2 board members tonight. Phyllis,
Correct.
Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay. So your option would be to adjourn to next month when it's more likely that the full board would be here to vote either in favor or having some alterations to what you're doing.
In order to make that decision, the applicant may want to get an indication of what the board is thinking prior to. I don't know if you're comfortable. Yeah, I would suggest doing something like a straw poll, or have just each board member give an indication of what they're thinking so that the applicant can make an informed decision.
Okay. Do you want to do whatever? How does everybody feel? Are we in favor of granting the variance?
I think 30 is a lot in the town of Poughkeepsie.
Usually,
I think 30 is a lot in the town of Poughkeepsie.
Or
We have zoning ordinance for 6. I prefer to keep it at 6.
Linda?
No, I think 30 is excessive in the town as well, in the area.
All right.
Seems like too many.
So as it stands right now, the board would likely not grant your variance.
So I want to wait.
Okay, so we'll adjourn it to September. We'll have 7 members here to potentially vote on the variance.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
You need to make a motion.
Yep. So I move to,
By the way,
yes.
my neighbors, they don't mind the
Okay.
chicken.
So what I would recommend is we take all that into consideration, and if you have a relationship with them, they can definitely make comments or submit something in writing to support.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So I move to adjourn item number 4 to the September meeting, September 14th. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So that,
Mr. Chair, item 1 has arrived, if you want to do that one next, or if you want to proceed through the agenda. Chair's choice.
might complicate things. We'll keep going down the agenda. So number 5, 2 Arbor Court.
Good evening.
Good catch.
Francis.
How are you? Can you
I'm
state your
well.
name for the record? I know
Yes,
you've
I
been
can.
sworn in, but
Yep. Oh, I have to, if someone can let me share a presentation. In the meantime, I am Kelly Leibold with KARC Planning.
And I'm Amy Argyrakis, KARC Planning.
Do you each swear or affirm that the testimony you're going to provide tonight is true and complete to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
Yes.
And are you trying to share a screen? Kelly?
Yes.
Yeah, all right, let me just, okay, now you should be able to.
okay.
Okay. Can the board see the presentation?
It's coming up.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just taking a minute, because, okay, there it is. Yep.
Okay, thank you. I was before this board last month and presented this application, provided some details, and the board had some very specific questions that they had asked us to research and answer. So I was going to go through those tonight, and then I'd be happy to answer any additional questions that you have. So just as a reminder, sorry, I know there's a delay. Okay, this is 2 Arbor Court. This is a 1.71 acre parcel in the R20 zoning district, and this is a corner lot. So that's important as it relates to the location of the accessory structure. I'm just looking over here to see when it comes up on your screen. Just to give you a perspective, this road is Boardman Road. This is Arbor, which is this cul-de-sac, and the project location is here, so it's on the corner of Arbor and Boardman. Across the street is Lord's, so you can get an idea of where this is in the town. There were, wait till it switches. Sorry, I'm just waiting for it to switch over.
Is it, yeah, it's slow.
Yeah, I didn't realize how slow it is. Maybe next time I'll do it from
I think
home.
it's
Is it
slow
quicker
last
from
time, too.
when people are remote?
I
Yeah.
think it's on a delay because of the problems that we've had in the past.
Yeah, there it is.
Okay.
Came up.
Sorry about that. So there were, if you recall, there's 2 area variances that we were looking for. One has to do with the width of the driveway, and the second had to do with the location of the pool house, which is considered an accessory structure. And your code does not allow accessory structures to be in front of the primary structure. So if looking from Arbor Court, the project is not in front of the accessory structure, it's behind the residence. But if you're looking from Boardman Road, it's situated in front of the primary structure. And so that's the corner lot that is the issue. Just zoom this up. So again, this is the primary residence, and then this is the accessory structure. We provided, there was a number of dimensions that, let me wait for it to switch. Sorry, I know you have a long agenda. Okay, there was a number of dimensions that the board asked us to look at. First was the size of the pool house, and the pool house is 20 feet by 20 feet. And the second dimension that you had asked us to look at is what was the dimension of the pool house from the property line? And so the dimension of the pool house from the property line is 79 feet, 3 inches. just for perspective, the setback of the house is 78 feet, 9 inches. So this pool structure is obviously slightly in front of the one-story residence. All right, while I'm waiting for this to load, one of the other questions I think was asked was, is this pool house being used as a bedroom or a sleeping area? It is not. I know I was shocked last month when I think someone had suggested that there was a bed in there, and I apologize, I went and took photos. So it is a pool house, it's utilized for the pool. There is a bathroom in there that was on the permitted drawings that were submitted to the town for the building permit.
Was the bed removed?
There are structures in there, or sorry, there's furniture in there that's used when they're using the pool house, and there's a TV in there. So we did provide you with photos of the inside.
Kelly, was the bed removed?
There's a couch over, see on the side? No, let me just see.
It's like a day
See,
bed,
there's like a day bed.
and it was there temporarily.
All right, I mean, I would like to see that removed upon final inspection.
Sure.
Okay. Okay. So, there was a number of different, dimensions, again, that the board had asked for with respect to the driveway. Let me just get these up. One more. I have these on different slides, so it might be easier. I'm just gonna show them all in this one slide so that I don't have to wait for it to switch over. Okay. So first is the width of the driveway at Arbor Court, which is right here. There it is, okay. So the width of the driveway at Arbor Court is 29 feet, 29.5 feet. The width of the driveway at its longest point is 82 feet. The width of these were dimensions that were asked by the ZBA. So, the distance of the corner of the house to the front door, which is right here, is 57 feet. The board had asked for the distance of the garage, which is the corner of the garage right here to the edge of the driveway, and that is 68.6 feet. Again, all of these were documented in the materials that we gave you. And then the board also asked, they wanted to see what the driveway would look like if we provided just a clean radius from the corner of the driveway over to the garage. So in essence, I think the direction that the chairman was discussing last month was kind of the elimination of this corner area right here. So we drew what a line would look like if you had a clean radius that went from the corner of the garage over to the existing driveway. So without going through, each one of these is on an individual slide. I won't go through all of each individual slides. They're just collectively on this slide. I'm happy to answer any questions. I think that addresses all of the questions that the board raised at the last meeting.
Can you try and pull up the slide that had just the measurements? I see it here, but so everybody can see it. It's got the red and the blue line across the whole width and the length of it.
Yeah, that's this one. It's gonna come over in a minute. Boy, it's painful, isn't it?
So while that's being pulled up, I had talked to Paul. I think what we were asking is, as opposed to a clean cut around the corner there, which just eliminated the side, was to have it come out to almost more, was it a fountain that's in the middle?
Yes.
So off the corner of the garage to the fountain to what the width is of the driveway, to see what that looked like.
Oh, I see.
Reducing that whole corner versus just a clean cut.
Oh, so if the driveway came up to the fountain?
Yeah, kind of
the
where,
center.
almost where the arrow is right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, so I understand, I apologize that we didn't give that to you. The intent was so that it acts somewhat of a circular fashion, so people can pull out of the driveway, they can face out. So this is on a corner lot, it's pretty close to the intersection with Boardman Road, and that allowed them to turn around in the driveway and then head back out versus backing out into the road.
It is a dead-end road, right?
Excuse me?
It's a dead-end road though, right?
Yeah, but people are pulling in, so if people are pulling in from Boardman, I'm not gonna pull this back up again
Yeah.
because I'll go back to the slide, but the driveway is right here with people turning in on Arbor. But yes, it is a dead end. It's not a through road.
Yeah.
Oh, so, hold on.
It's still up on ours.
Oh,
Recording in progress.
Yeah, we're back, I think.
Pulling up on the mic.
Okay.
So I think the conversation I'd had with the chairman last is that's what we would like to see, because it is so much beyond what the variance is. I think the board, and we can do the same thing as we did with the previous variance request, is I'm not sure the board is willing to grant quite the variance for the driveway, so we would like to see an alternative.
okay,
And
that's
I
a
know-
different,
I know that that's what Paul is leaning towards,
okay,
the direction of going. So you could submit a different rendering, we could kind of get kind of an idea, if anybody has any questions, we could ask that, and then at least we would have that to go with.
okay, so we'll come back and provide you with an alternative of what we're
Yeah,
thinking.
so from the corner of the garage to where the fountain is, to
Right
where the width of the driveway, taking the whole corner out versus just kind of cutting it on an angle there.
So you're saying not this line? You want to cut out all of this?
Kind of straight out to the circular and
Yep.
then to the driveway opening.
Okay.
And then
So
if you could
people
throw
would
some
come in.
dimensions on there,
Yeah.
then we would be able to judge if it's something that seems big enough to like turn around
For a
in.
turning
Right,
radius.
Right.
Yeah,
Does that
Yep.
make sense? I mean,
Um,
go ahead.
it does. I'm not sure. We'll have to look at it and see what we can come up with that provides an alternative that meets your needs, and then to try to get something so that they can get turned around
Okay.
on the driveway.
In the meantime, does anybody have any
No, I was gonna ask you,
questions?
so do you mean like to come from the corner of the outer garage there and kind of swing it down so that the whole driveway would be narrower, right? And it would still go up to the corner of the garage, is that what you're looking for?
Correct.
Yeah, okay.
In the meantime, does anybody have any questions as far as
What?
the application goes?
I got a lot of questions.
Go for it.
Why do they need such a big driveway? I mean, that's like a parking lot.
It's a big family. They have a big family, and they just want to provide an area so that when people come over,
How many cars?
they have a place for them to park.
How many cars?
I don't know. I think there's 4 boys with their respective families.
Okay. So, and you were saying they couldn't turn around in a 30-foot driveway?
I'm not saying that they can't. I'm just saying that that's why the driveway was designed the way that it was, so that people could come in and turn around.
When this house was...
I can't hear anybody. The meeting is on mute.
When,
Hold on. He's not wrong.
we're not broadcasting either.
Do you want me to stop sharing? Do you think that's complicating it?
It shouldn't be. I think we're having some other technical issue, which I can't quite explain, but hold on one second. We're rejoining.
Recording in progress.
Could you stop sharing? Just a minute? Yeah,
Again.
let me see
Type
that.
it again. See, we can't hear.
Okay, now, how's that? Are we back?
You're not typing.
Mr. Roberts, is that working now?
Yes.
All right, well, thank you for your patience. I do apologize. We're having
Yes.
some kind of technical issue.
Yes, it is. Thank you so much.
Yeah, we're having some kind of technical issue here in the meeting room, but we will try to keep it running, and we will.
Oh, that's
continue.
okay.
All right, thank you.
No. Okay. Thank you.
Yep.
Appreciate it very much.
Art, questions?
Yeah, we're waiting for him to finish.
Just leave it
I
on.
missed the last meeting, but can you tell me why the builder and the architects didn't know this was gonna be a problem?
So there were 2 issues. One had to do with the location of the pool house. I can't answer that. So this was a property that was built by a builder and then, contracted to the builder, and then the owner moved into the house. So I can't answer that. I'm sorry. Why that was put there, I don't have the answer. With respect to the driveway, when the driveway was installed, there was some communication with the highway superintendent, who had provided what I would call an acknowledgement or an approval of the driveway. Now, I don't know what, that's in the submission package that we gave you. I don't know if at the time that the builder put the driveway in, he felt as if the highway superintendent had the authority to give him, the approval to put the driveway in. But the driveway was put in based on that communication.
Okay, thank
So
you.
that, there's an email, communication in the,
Well, it's based on the interpretation of that.
excuse me?
It's based on interpretation, not fact, right?
I don't
It's
understand.
based on the interpretation of the highway department's input?
Yeah, the
But-
highway, it's pretty clear what the highway superintendent states. He says that he's acknowledging that the driveway is installed, and I don't have the exact one in front of me. I don't think it's up to interpretation. I think it's pretty clear that he's saying it's approved.
Here's- Mr. Chairman, do you have a copy of that?
We do, it's in the file, I think.
It might have been in last month's submission, I don't see it in.
Yeah, it was in the initial one.
Yeah.
That's okay. We can,
I just have Jeff on this.
we can hold that.
Excuse me?
We can hold that. They've got, I'll look at the copy.
Okay. Yeah, there was an
Yeah.
email that was submitted. I'm sorry, I don't have the original submission folder.
Your turn. Your turn.
Oh,
You gotta put your microphone down again. If you have a question.
so, you said there was communication with the highway superintendent. It was after the driveway was already there? Is that how I heard? I may have misheard you.
I don't know the sequencing of the communication with the highway superintendent, because again, this is a property that was built by a builder.
Okay.
So that predated myself being involved with this project. But there is on record some communication with the highway superintendent stating that the driveway was acceptable. And I don't want to misinterpret what he said. I don't have the document in front of me, but my recollection is that he was acknowledging that the driveway was acceptable. And something to the effect that it was not unlike other driveways in the area.
I have no further questions.
Larry?
No questions.
So we'll adjourn this to September.
Yes, are there any other questions with the pool house? I just want to make sure there's nothing else that the board needs.
Does anybody have any questions about the pool house? I don't think the pool house is as much of a question than Christie's request to remove that as it is the driveway, so.
Okay, so we'll come back with an alternative
that'd be
with dimensions. Okay.
Just for the record, did we confirm there's no public that wants to speak on this? Did we do that?
But thank you,
Okay.
There's no one?
thank you. Thank you. Is there anybody in the audience that would like to comment on this application? I don't see. Is there anybody on Zoom that would like to comment on 2 Arbor Court? Does not appear so. So I move we adjourn this to the September 14th meeting.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries.
Go take-
Thank you.
Sammy, lay down.
Thank you.
Moving on to number 6, 9 Alfred Drive.
Yes,
Yes.
good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Roberts. Could you state your names for the record, please?
Certainly, this is David Roberts,
Anne Marie Roberts.
and we're the owners at 9 Alfred Drive.
Mr. and Mrs.
In
Roberts,
Poughkeepsie.
do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're going to provide tonight is true and complete to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, it
Yes.
is.
Mr. Roberts, could you please explain your application to us?
Certainly. The purpose of the application was I have a pool and a deck that is not at the actual setback that is needed. I'm currently at 11 feet to one side. And the reason for the request for variance is I have no really alternative to where to place the pool or the deck because of where the pool and deck are, Over 30 years ago, this was built. So it hasn't really had any reason to move it. And I was not aware that, we needed a variance. So when I went to redo the deck to replace it with Tibron, I found that we didn't have the proper authorization. So hence my reason for coming in front of the board. That was part of what I did in the initial submission. I gave that information. And I also have two sheds at the back property corner, which require a variance because one of the sheds it's a 10 by 12 and it meet the setback requirements at the rear of the property.
So you said the
And
pool,
that's really,
you said the pool has been there for 30,
yes.
you said the pool's been there for 30 years?
Yep, pool and deck, yep.
And how long has the shed been there?
Probably 20 years,
20 years.
the two sheds.
And the reason this came up is because
Yep.
you're looking to redo the deck?
I've been, yes. And then I know, that I was, the building inspector came, let me know that, I needed to come before the board for the variance request for the deck and the pool, and also for the sheds.
And the deck that you're looking to replace, that's just to replace?
My setback on,
The deck is gonna be the same?
I was just replacing the boards, that's correct.
Just what's there, no bigger,
Yes.
no change?
Yeah, yeah, no, I'm just tearing the wood off the walking deck and putting composite down, thank you. My wife's got good, she remembers what it's called, me, not so much.
Okay. I don't have any more questions. Christine?
No questions.
Art?
No questions.
Linda?
No questions.
Larry?
No questions.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Roberts. Is there anybody in the audience that has any comments on this application? Doesn't seem like it. Anybody in the audience? Or, I'm sorry, anybody on Zoom? Does not appear. So I move to close the public hearing on this. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion's carried. Mr. Roberts, you can wait around until the end of the meeting, or you can call the zoning administrator in the morning for the verdict.
Mr. Chairman, just for your, I don't know if you guys
Permit,
know.
thank
Oh,
you.
wonderful.
Thank you so much for your help, do
you.
appreciate it. You guys have a great evening, thank you.
We are not broadcasting it.
We are not broadcasting.
Well, we're not going out.
No, I'll check with the guy in the back about the broadcasting, but sometimes could be a problem with the cable company. Yeah.
Okay.
Take the next one and I'll.
Yep.
quickly-
Calling number 7, 61 Marple Road. Why is there no technical policy? How are you doing? Can you state your names for the record?
My name is Eric Feaster.
Patricia Feaster?
Mr. and Mrs. Feaster, do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're going to provide tonight is true and complete to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, I do.
Would you mind explaining your application to us?
I need a variance. For some reason, if you can help me, I don't understand. It says here that it's a front yard setback, okay? I'm talking about putting a deck on the back of my house that I've owned for 21 years, and I'm at a loss as to why you guys consider it a front yard, or why I don't understand who I'm encroaching on by having a deck on the back of my house with my fences enclosed on both sides all the way around. So that's why I'm here, because I got some lumber and some composite, and I wanted to put a deck on the back of my house. And they said I need a variance, so I'm at a loss.
Yeah, because it's a corner lot, and they'll help me explain this. Because you're on a corner lot, it's on Van Wagner and Marple.
Yes.
The side that's closest to Van Wagner is closer, even though it's like within your house, is closer than what the current variance now allows.
so you're aware that there's a fence all around my backyard property?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so, that's why I'm here.
Okay.
I want to add a deck on the back of my house.
Okay. So I understand the deck doesn't extend any further away from the house. It kind of corners off on the side of the house. So you're not extending any further, closer to the road than the house is currently?
No, not at all.
Okay. I don't have any questions. Christine?
No questions.
Art?
No questions.
Linda?
No questions.
Art?
No questions.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Did you do the public hearing?
Quick question.
Do the-
There's a sign on my front door. At the end of this, when can I take that sign off?
It's a stop work order, so, depending on the outcome of this, if you receive the variance, then you would go to the building department and, pay to.
I'm sorry, dear, can you speak up a little bit?
Yeah, you would pay to release your stop work order, and then you get your building permit application. You pick up your building permit.
All right, thank you very much.
Yep.
Thank you.
Tony, did you ask if there's
We
public
didn't do
comment?
the public comment yet.
So we'll finish the process tonight, and then when we're done, you can wait around tonight or call Chrissy in the morning to find out what the.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Before we move on, does anybody in the audience have any comments on this application? Does not appear so. Anybody on Zoom? So I move to close the public hearing.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. Number 8, South Hills Commons. 10 South Hills Ways.
And while we're waiting for Amy to make her way up here, Art, I did check on the cable. We have no way of knowing, unless it's Optimum, we have no way of knowing if the broadcast is actually going out. It is transmitting from here, or it's leaving here. But we know that Optimum does, that one we can see in the room, but apparently we don't have the equipment to check the FiOS or
The
Spectrum.
only reason I ask is my
Someone's
wife's watching it,
Right.
she's
Yeah,
watching.
no, I appreciate
We
it.
have Verizon, so it's,
Okay, yeah, appreciate that. Apparently we are getting new equipment, and we'll be able to know, for like, in-house, what's,
Good.
but it's not here.
Thanks.
I learn something every
Hi.
day.
Hi,
Please just state your name for the record.
Amy Bombarderi from South Hills Commons.
Amy, do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're going to provide tonight is true and complete to the best of your knowledge?
I do.
Would you mind explaining the application to us?
South Hills Commons was, I can't share my screen for some reason.
Oh, yeah, okay, hold on. Yeah, I've had to be more careful with this. It's a couple meetings ago.
Let's make that happen.
Yes.
Yep, now it's working.
It's good.
Yep, it's taken a minute to come in, but it is working. So.
South Hills Commons is on 9D. It is currently 4 apartment buildings that were constructed a number 2 or 3 years ago. During the course of construction, there was a problem with the elevations, and the 4th building wasn't able to get gravity flow to the existing sewer system through the site. So the solution was to connect it to the lift station that was currently on the BOP property. So the town required South Hills Commons to replace that lift station. So that extended the construction process and provided a solution to the town. It took the existing lift station off the BOP property, but it did cause for a delay in construction and for the completion of Building 4 to get the final CO. So the 4 buildings are, there's 2 here and 2 here. There's a proposed 5th building. So the density, each of the buildings have 6 units in it. The density calculation only allows for 25 dwelling units. So currently there's 24. The proposal would be to add another 6. So
Recording in progress.
the density is one of the variances required. The other is there's a 50-foot landscape buffer because the property borders a residential district. The existing parking lot currently lies within that buffer here.
Just letting you know.
Yeah, thanks. Hold on one second, Amy, I'm sure. The meeting cut out again, the Zoom. There must be, maybe the thunderstorms or something, but I'm gonna stop sharing your screen for a minute
Okay.
and see if that helps me. Okay, let's see. Connecting to Zoom rooms. Wow. Give it another minute. Okay, now you got the sound back, Ally? That was you probably, right?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, we're having
Back.
technical delivery difficulties.
Thanks.
Yeah. Okay, so you can share your screen again if you need to.
It's not loading these buildings up here, but, okay, here we go. So these are the two buildings, on the north side and two on the west side. And the proposed one is on the south end. So the variance for the landscape buffer, that's actually, it's pre-existing. I realized as I was putting this together, I can eliminate the need for that. I can put more parking.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to not share the screen maybe after this. It's rebooting again. I don't know why that's the case, but that. I'll tell you when it's back. So.
Recording in progress.
Okay. It's interesting that it seems to be working out there.
But now meeting room looks muted.
But now the meeting room is muted, I know. Yeah. This.
The only one who's not muted is Dan. Maybe he's the host of the meeting now.
I don't think I can do it from the back room. I might have to go check though. That was when he restarts before the, oh, here we go. Okay, we made a connection. Okay, we're back, and we're not gonna share screen,
Okay.
right? Because we all have the plans in front of us.
You do, okay.
Yeah, so we're good. And I don't know if that's the issue, but let's,
So the buffer variance, I can eliminate the need for that. I can move the parking to the other end of the parking lot, and that won't be a problem. It'll also give us more opportunity to apply more plantings in that area, which is the intent of that buffer, to be landscaped. So, the density variance is the important one. And the desire for the density variance is that the lift station was an unexpected cost that occurred after they had the fourth building constructed. So they're trying to recuperate some of the cost from installing that. I think it was over $300,000 that they did not anticipate. But like I said, it did provide a solution for the town. The lift station that was there was antiquated and caused problems, and I know Ms. Bob didn't appreciate having it on her property, so that's been removed from her property. It's accessed through the South Hills Common parking lot and has the 5 residential houses
along 9D connected to it.
So when you said about the buffering, is that on the, from what I'm looking at, the proposed fifth building on the right-hand side?
Yeah, but so it's just the parking, it's 2.5 parking spaces. 3 total parking spaces that are in it. That's what's causing the need for the buffer variance. So,
You need the other sheet. You go to page sheet, the second sheet.
you can see it on. The third sheet actually shows it more clearly.
So this is the new building, right, so these are the 4, this is the new building, and this is the setback from the, they're talking about, so it's these parking spaces there.
So where is 9D on this?
9D is up there.
Up here, right?
Yeah, so this is the 4 that exist, this is the proposed new one,
Yeah,
this is the buffer,
right.
so these parking spaces.
I see it now. Thank you.
Yeah, sorry.
So by moving those parking spaces to the other side of the proposed parking area, it'll increase the it'll increase the temporary disturbance a bit, and then the area where the parking is now within the buffer will be restored to a vegetative state and allow for more trees to be planted in that area.
So I'm sorry, Amy, obviously we got a lot of distractions tonight. So are you saying that you're proposing to change the plan as it is here and remove those parking spaces?
Just to shift them to the
shift
other
them.
side of the parking lot so
Right.
that
Right,
that buffer variance won't be required.
so that variance won't be required. Okay, so we'll need to see that obviously
of
on a
course.
revised plan set.
But so I have room on the other side, but just extend the parking lot another 2.5, or a space and a half on each end.
So, well, I guess we would want to see a plan next time that shows that, so we can.
Well, if the board's ready to move on the other stuff and
Oh, that's
this
true.
variance is not needed, then
Yeah.
as long as Amy submits a plan that shows it's not needed to the
Okay.
building department, I don't know that this board needs to see it.
Right, okay, that's fair. Yeah.
So the board can just focus for tonight on the density variance.
Which would be the fifth building?
Yes.
Yeah.
I know landscaping was a concern, so on the 4th sheet of the set you have, there are green plantings. Those are all proposed. The black plantings exist.
Yeah,
And none of the existing plantings are going to be eliminated. If they are, they'll be replaced. It would just be from the installation of the water service to the building.
What page is that?
That's on the 4th page of the plan set.
S3?
that's
S5.
5.
5.
Do we have?
Yeah, so these are the new ones. Yeah, this is the buffer. Amy, you mentioned the water and the sewer line. If you're removing those parking spaces, could those be moved over so that they're not requiring removal of the vegetation?
There's existing drainage there. I just have to maintain the separation from the existing drainage. The drainage pipe that you see there that's in red, that is proposed, but that would obviously shift with the parking lot.
Mm-hmm.
So, but there is a pretty large infiltration system under that parking area. You can see that on
One of the other
the next plan set I sent.
Yeah.
No, you can see that on the first sheet.
Okay.
So it doesn't look like I could do that because that infiltration system actually extends a little bit into the buffer, which would not require a variance because that's all subgrade, so that doesn't cause a need.
Okay.
So when this was first proposed, was it a 5-building proposal and we ran into complications, or was it 4 and now we're coming back for it?
It was 4 buildings. Well, there was a couple iterations. There was 24 units total, maybe in 2 buildings and then 4 buildings, but never So these 5 additional, it's a new proposal completely. It was never before any board prior to this application being submitted. The property's 6 acres, but because there's a section of steep slope that had to be discounted, that lowered the density calculation to 25 maximum units. None of the steep slopes are disturbed. Nothing was disturbed there. The top of the property, beyond the steep slopes, nothing was disturbed there. The disturbance is just what you see on the first sheet for the 4 buildings and the parking and the drainage. So it's not that the parcel itself can't actually physically handle another building. It's just that the density calculation, because of the discount of the steep slopes, made it a necessary density variance required.
Can you talk a little bit more about I guess you said it, but the pump house, what did that entail?
So the existing lift station was, like I said, it was antiquated, and that was on the Bob parcel. Moving it onto the South Hills common parcel, it's all subgrade with the exception of a electrical control panel essentially, and it's fenced in, and it's got a 3-foot high cover over it, but it's within a shielded fence, so it's chain link with slats in it, so it's quiet. It doesn't cause any kind of, unless there's an emergency, there's no light flashing or anything. And I think it works perfectly, right, Mike? Been problems?
I'm not the sewer department, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, it's been working as far as I know. So.
It's state of the art. It gets, everything's digitally monitored, and alarms they go to the sewer department and, if necessary, the police station, I think. So it did fix the problem.
I don't have any more questions. Christine?
Would you be, would you be providing the planning department with more detail about the screening that would be?
The landscaping?
Yes.
I put together a landscaping plan. It's the sheet S5 of your plan set.
Okay.
The type of plantings, right now it's mostly arborvitae, and which will grow to be a pretty tight hedgerow, essentially, and provide a lot of screening. The developer is completely willing to put more landscaping in if that's what.
Well, there was a neighbor last month that said that.
She's also on the line.
Okay, yeah, there was a neighbor last month that was saying that it wasn't being maintained and it was noisy and the lights, in the parking lot. So I just wanted to bring that up to see if that would be addressed.
That would absolutely be addressed. The landscaping, I was there about a month ago. There might be 1 or 2 plantings that might need to be replaced, but I think that it is being maintained. There's never been an issue with the garbage pickup. The parcel, Miss Bob's parcel, is on the north end of this, at the corner, kind of where the driveway meets the adjacent property line, and where the proposed development is fairly far south of where her property is, so it wouldn't, I've heard her complain about the lighting, also the parking going in towards her house, but developer did put in a lot of plantings to try and fix that problem for her, or make it less intrusive, but they're, like I said, willing to do more.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And do so more towards that end of the property, even though this is what we're talking about.
Yeah, if there's a problem with anything that is existing that needs to be replaced, obviously they would do that. But like I didn't see anything. I'm not a specialist in that area though. But nothing looked brown when it should have been green. But yes, to answer your question, they'll do whatever is required to make the situation better.
That's all.
Art? No. Linda?
No, nothing.
All right.
No,
I'm going to open up to the audience and see if there's any comments on this application. Doesn't appear anybody in the audience. Does anybody on Zoom?
Yep. Ally, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hi there. Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Hi. I know you were sworn.
Um,
I know you were sworn in last month. Your comments from last month are on record. Is there anything else, anything additional you want to add based on tonight?
Just a few things. I am happy to hear that they might not be encroaching on to the buffer. I think it was mostly at the greenhouse, 2 houses down from me. I know that the owner of that house was concerned. He is not here tonight, unfortunately. But I am glad to hear that. I also want to mention that there is flooding at Chanticleer condos. I've heard this information talking to several people in the town and a couple of people over at Chanticleer. It's been since those 4 buildings went up, it free kids and dogs and whatever over there, and it does like freeze over, and it's definitely dangerous. I'm not sure anything has been done. I don't know if you're aware of it to fix that issue. And I think I've addressed this multiple times. Like, I understand Route 90 is owned by the state, but I'm hoping something can be done about the speeding and the congestion, because that is a major issue over here. I don't know what you guys, have the ability to do in your position, but, it's just increasingly adding housing and adding traffic to the area just definitely does not help. And regarding the sewer station, the lift station, there are no plantings directly around it. It is an eyesore. In general, the plantings that were installed are immature trees. They have not grown. They've grown, but it's not a significant amount to the point where we have privacy in our backyard. That's been my complaint pretty much the whole time. With the headlights, people park in their parking spaces, and these new cars have the headlights that, are on for a significant amount of time. It depends on if they're sitting in the car, if they don't lock the car right away when they get out. And it does shine. It shines into our bedroom, which is on the 2nd floor. So other than that, I just want to remind you guys that you don't have the obligation to grant variances. I think it does set a bad precedent. The schools are crowded over here. I'm hoping that you're thinking of the infrastructure before you go ahead and accept these additional variances for this applicant. I appreciate the time to talk. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else have any comments on this? Doesn't look like it. So I move to close the public hearing.
Can I just address a couple things that she spoke about?
Sure.
So what's being proposed in the 5th building won't impact the parking where the lights are shining in the direction of the Bob parcel. There are plantings around the lift station, but there is also opportunity to put more plantings around it to block it. There's no school-age children in this complex at the moment, so it's typically not a draw on the school district. As far as Route 90, the traffic impact from these units is pretty low. The multiplier of trips per day is, Route 90 is a busy road anyway, so the addition of these is de minimis compared to what's existing. I think that was it, but like I said, we'll plant more I know that's more of a planning board issue, but obviously we will take care of that if they want that. Thank you.
Thank you. There's no more comments. Move to close the public hearing.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
That motion's carried. Thank you.
Thank you.
Item number 9, 12 Stanley Street.
He's on Zoom.
Is it Mr. Ritter?
Yep.
Yes, I'm here.
Hi, Can you state your name for the record?
Sure, it's Christopher Ritters.
Mr. Ritters, do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're going to provide tonight is true and complete to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, I do.
Would you mind explaining your application to us?
Sure. So the purpose of my application, I am requesting a variance to convert my existing garage, attached garage, into living space.
So when we were out there the other day and see from your drawing, so the garage, or the driveway is right at the garage, right? But in your yard in the front of your house, you have, is it the septic tank?
That's correct. Yeah, the septic tank is in the front yard, goes underneath the driveway to the distribution box and the leach fields out to the side yard. I have the double lot there on the side.
And the leach field's off to the right in front of the pool?
That's correct.
So you would not have the ability to extend the driveway in any other direction other than where it is currently, right?
Right, that's correct. Hence why I'm seeking the variance today.
Okay. I don't have any other questions. Christine?
No questions.
Art?
No questions.
Linda?
No questions.
Larry?
After it's converted, you have in mind who's gonna live there?
I'm sorry, could you repeat the question?
After the garage will be converted, do you have in mind who's gonna live there?
It's not an accessory apartment, it's just an extension of living space.
Yeah, it's my family. It's right. That's correct. It'll be a living room.
Okay.
So no additional bedrooms, anything like that.
Okay, that's all the questions we have. Does anybody in the audience have any questions?
Actually, comments.
Comments? I said that multiple times. Doesn't appear so. Does anybody on Zoom have any comments? Doesn't appear so. So I move to close the public hearing. That was part. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. Thank you. You can wait around for the result or call the zoning administrator in the morning. Number 10, 1 Spackenkill Road.
Good evening, Kelly Leibold with KARC Planning Consultants.
Hello again.
Amy Argerakis with KARC Planning.
Do you have to swear us in
Do
again?
you swear or affirm that the testimony you're going to provide tonight is true and complete to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
Yes.
Safe to say that we cannot Zoom, Mr. Chairman?
Well, yeah, I mean, it shouldn't really have any
Okay.
effect, so I guess we could try if you wanna.
I'll try. If it
You know, and if
doesn't
we start
work,
running
yeah.
into trouble again.
Mike, I don't know if you noticed, but it was saying before that the internet connection was unstable.
Oh, I didn't see that, no.
Yeah, it was
Okay.
up on the screen here, so
So
I don't
maybe
know if
that's the explanation. All right, so let me allow sharing. All right, go ahead if you wanna try it.
I'm gonna pull up I have ready just one slide that if I can just leave this up, we'll be able to use this.
Yeah, no,
See if
it's
it
good to have at
works.
least one image
Just
to be
one.
able, right. I mean, we do have it in front of us, though.
It is. Okay, it's not up on the public. You can see it?
It's still coming up,
okay.
we have a delay, there it
Okay,
is,
there it is.
now it's up.
All right,
Yeah.
let's fingers crossed.
Okay.
So this is for 1 Spackenkill Road. Hopefully everyone knows where this is. This is Giacomo's. It's on the corner of Spackenkill and Route 9. This is in the highway business. This particular building has been there since 1950. And what happened was the applicant wanted to do some architectural modifications to the front of the building, and we submitted an application to the planning board. When we submitted an application to the planning board, it was reviewed by your CEO, and it was identified that there were some deficiencies. And so the building is actually right on the property line on the left and right side. So that's what you're seeing here. So those red lines are actually the property line. In actually both instances on the left and the right, the building goes over the property line. And so that's been there since 1950 as far as we can tell. And that triggered the need to come before this board for variances. The property line on the left, I'm giving you more information than you probably necessarily need tonight, but the property line on the left, the building goes over the property line. And we have entered into an agreement with the adjoining property owner to do a lot line alteration. We're before the board for that lot line alteration. So that'll improve the encroachment. But still, after that lot line alteration is completed, the building will be right next to the property line. So it has 0 setback on both sides where 40 feet is required. So the first variances that were here before you is for the existing building, which has 0 side yard setbacks on both sides. And we're asking the board to grant area variances for those deviations. There's not really too much that we can do. They exist. It's been there since 1950. There isn't any, this isn't a self-created hardship, and there really isn't too much that we can do to modify that. So those are the first 2 area variances. I'm afraid to move the screen because I'm afraid that you lost it.
Wait, we just lost it.
Yep, I'll stop sharing. That was the big,
That was the big
image. I
reveal.
just wanted everyone to understand that this is this existing condition.
It's
Recording in progress.
Now I just need to see if I can get the
Sure.
audio to come back. Hold on. Okay, we should
Okay,
have audio
well,
back.
I won't share moving forward.
Yeah.
Okay, so those are 2 area variances. So both sides of the building, the requirement is 40 feet and the building has 0 feet. Well, it will have 0 feet once that lot line alteration is completed. On the other side of the building, there's a minor encroachment of 3 inches. It has to do with the brick facade that's on the porch. And there's an existing easement that's in place for that side of the property. There's parking spaces on that side of the building that are on the adjoining property line. We're going to work with the ZBA attorney and our attorney and just see if everyone thinks that that easement that's in place meets the needs of the planning board and the zoning board. If not, I guess we'll have to cross that path. But at the moment, we're asking the board to grant 40-foot side yard variances on both sides. So those are the 2. All right, so I'll move on to the sign. So the whole reason the application is before the town is the property owner and the building owner, they wanted to do some improvements to the front facade of the building and create an approved aesthetic on the front of the building. So they submitted the drawings to the planning board, and then it was apparent that the sign that they're proposing is significantly smaller than what's permitted, but from a location standpoint, it's called above the roof line. So this is a flat roof building, and they're proposing an architectural kind of a facade improvement, and the sign would therefore be on the top of the roof line, if you look at the roof line being the back of the building. So the third variance application that we're seeking from the board is to permit the sign to be above the roof line. We provided you with some details of other locations in the area where there are clearly similar signs, throughout the area. They're in my presentation, but I don't have it to give to you tonight. The other issue that is of concern to the applicant is that if you're driving on Route 9 North, that's really the only way you can see this building. There's really a very limited view, so you come underneath of Spackenkill Road, and there's only a few minutes that you have to see this building, and then you're past it. And so they're looking to do these improvements on the front of the building and then put the sign again above the roof line. It's the sign is, again, smaller than what's permitted. I think it's 35 square feet where 250 square feet is permitted. That's, without doing the presentation, I think that's the best that I can do to explain tonight.
Can you talk a little bit about the sign itself? So it's a facade that's going on, and it talked about additional square footage. Is it it's not adding a second level though, right?
No, it's, this is a flat roofed building, so it's a one-story building and it's a flat roof. And so imagine just, if you have a flat roof, just putting a facade up higher on the front of the building, and that's it.
Is there any interior space or anything that's gained on the inside, or is
No.
that just structure to support
The
these
plans
things?
do show that it's going taller by
bump
like 8 feet from the front, and then the sign facade is even taller. But I thought it showed that that's why the side yard variances were needed, because it was like the front 8 feet of the building looked like they were getting taller, and then there was
If you
the
look at
edit.
the east and the west elevation, you can see that there, I mean, the facade is going up, but there's also, it looks like, a pretty significant area that is also going up behind the immediate facade. Is that,
I think, I'll talk to the architect, it's Mazzarelli, but I would imagine that that's, to some degree, it's structural, and I think there's HVAC units up there that they're screening. So there's no additional square footage that's being added. So from a plan view, you would see an increase on both of the sides of the building. An increase in height. I think the question is
I
that,
thought that was, yeah.
is it a volume?
My thought was that was a good thing, because then it's not like you're just building the facade up just to hold the sign, that
Yeah.
there's actually some other
Yeah, I'll
stuff
clarify
going
that.
on behind it.
I don't think there's anything going on behind it, but I'll clarify that with the architect.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no additional square footage, there's no modification to the inside of the building, there's no changes to the ceiling inside of the building. There's no other additional square footage that's being added.
Yeah, because I think when we first looked at it, we thought there was a second floor that was being added to the front.
Yeah, I would see how that, I think I looked at it completely different, thinking that it was just sides to support the front facade and to hide the HVAC equipment, but there's nothing being enclosed inside of that area.
So there will be 2 walls on the side, but just parapet walls to hide.
Thank you.
So 2 on the side and then 1 also on the front.
Leave it to the attorney to explain it so perfectly.
Sorry.
Yes, thanks, Lisa, yes, you're correct.
Can you reiterate that?
Yep.
Sure, so there's 2 parapet
Parapet.
walls on the side that will shield the HVAC on the roof from view and the front. So it's like a 3-sided structure sitting on top of the.
Correct.
No added interior space.
So do we need clarification on that, or?
Yeah, so then the sign
It's
is
fine
completely
from this
above the roof.
variance point of view, because that's
Right.
how I had.
Then the sign
interpreted
is completely above
Above
the
the roof.
Yeah,
Correct.
if that's the case, yep.
So that
Yeah.
might change. Does that change your,
I mean,
Well, the sign is
still
not,
prohibited.
We called the roof line, Chrissy, we called the roof line like the existing flat roof.
Yeah,
So
I
then
thought
we
the
said it
whole
was above
building
it.
was going up, and there was just the parapet in the front. But if there's 3 parapets,
Correct.
then the sign is completely above the roof line, which I thought it was only a few inches above the roof line, but
so if you were to draw a straight line across the front of the building, it would go through the sign. There's an archway.
well, that's what I
being added
originally
to-
thought, but if there's 3 parapets on each side, and the
But only
rest
the
of the
front
building.
center is the tall, only the arch where the sign is going is tall. The other 2,
no,
You just said they were fake. Yeah, we just said that
no,
they're.
that's what we thought.
Yes, that's what
but-
we thought, but
No, there's parapet walls, there's definitely parapet walls that are going up adjacent to the, yeah.
right, but if you look at the front of the structure, it's got an arch in it. And
Yes.
the 2 sides are flat.
Correct,
So the front is going to be taller than the 2 sides.
yes, that's correct. And the sign is above the roof line.
but this is all fake. This is all parapet.
Right, but this goes back this way and this way.
But then in the middle, it goes to here.
Right.
I think either way, it's above either the new roof line or it's above the existing roof line. So the variance isn't a dimensional variance, it's kind of black and white. You're either above the roof line or you're not, and that's the variance request.
Okay, yeah, that's, so it actually, from the standpoint of the zoning, the language in the zoning, Kelly just noted that it's not a dimensional request, it just says above the roof line. So it's still the same request, it's above the roof line, but it's more above the roof line than we thought it was.
So Chrissy is saying that the roof line is the existing
Is
roof
the existing
line,
roof.
and that you
Yeah.
don't count the parapet
Right.
at all.
Right.
Yeah, I never envisioned, I thought that was the case, is that the
Okay.
existing flat roof line, and so it's clearly it's above the existing flat roof.
Yep. I mean, again, it's still the same variance, it's just a
Right.
question of,
Yeah.
and it's not really a dimensional variance, it's just the language is that you can't be above the roof line, so it's above the roof line.
Correct.
I don't have any more questions.
No, I don't have any questions.
I don't have any.
Melinda?
No questions.
Larry?
No questions.
Actually, I do have one question, I'm sorry.
Asked.
So even if, because the whole front is elevated above the flat roof line, even if you lowered the sign that says Giacomo's it's still gonna be above the roof
Yeah,
line?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
That's
either
all.
you are or you aren't in
Right,
this
got it.
scenario. And so even if we, a smidgen above, we would be above the roof line. And the sign is smaller than what we calculate. I didn't go over this with Chrissy, but we calculated that the permitted signage would be 250 square feet. It's 35 feet. So even if I'm off by a little bit, we're significantly lower or smaller than what the permitted sign would be.
Thank you.
Does anybody in the audience have any questions or comments? How about on Zoom? Does not appear, so I'll make a motion to close the public hearing.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So that motion carries. So let's recall number
Number one.
Thank you.
number 1. Thank you. 55 Scenic Drive. Would you state your name for the record?
One moment, please. Good evening, members of the board. For the record, my name is Dan Conant. I'm an attorney with the law office of Cuddy and Fader. I'm appearing tonight on behalf of the applicants, Gada and Fierce Haddad, and I'm also joined on Zoom by Daniel Kohler, professional engineer of Hudson Land Design, and he will. I'll turn things over to him and have him swear in shortly.
So, Mr. Conant, do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're going to provide tonight is true and complete to the best of your knowledge?
I do.
Okay, no, Kohler, sorry, I'm sorry, Mr. Kohler.
I do.
Okay, thank you, I'm looking.
Thank you for taking things out of order this evening. As stated before, we're before you in connection with the applicant's request for variance relief from the maximum permitted driveway width, which is 15 feet per section 21092Q1 of the town code. The applicant's existing driveway is 32.9 feet wide, but will be reduced by 13 inches due to the proposed trench drain along its western edge for a new total width of 31.8 feet. And for the benefit of the board and the public that members may be interested this evening, I'll provide some brief updates and background regarding this application, as it has been several months since we last appeared. And since we last appeared in March, the applicant, Dan Kohler, and his colleagues at Hudson Land Design, along with the town's highway and sewer departments, completed their joint investigation of the stormwater issues at the adjacent property at 57 Scenic Drive. And as detailed in our submissions to this board, it was determined that there was sediment buildup in the catch basin system that is on the subject premises and also in the manhole and junction where the applicant's catch basin system connects to the town stormwater system beneath Scenic Drive. And this investigation took a little bit longer than expected because the previous owners of 57 Scenic Drive seem to have paved over the manhole where this junction is when redoing their driveway circa 2012. The unearthing of this manhole, which occurred in mid-May, allowed for the completion of the stormwater investigation and allowed HLD to design stormwater improvements for the premises and prepare a drainage report, all of which were reviewed by the planning board, its engineer, and approved at the meeting on July 16th, subject to the satisfaction of certain conditions. The planning board also approved the applicant's proposed lot line change with 7 Spur Way, which conveyed 0.2 acres from 7 Spur Way to the subject premises, thereby eliminating the applicant's need for area variance relief from the maximum permitted coverage in the R 20,000 district. And if the board doesn't have any questions about the aforementioned, I will turn things over to Dan Kohler to review the proposed stormwater improvements and all the other work that the applicant has put into designing the improvements that are on the second sheet of the plan that we submitted most recently to this board, which is titled the lot line change plan. Sorry, land contour permit plan.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I'll just piggyback a little bit. I mean, Dan did a pretty good job of letting you know some of the history of this. Once we actually were able to determine where that manhole was, which is the stormwater connection point at the town's level, we were able to also jet the line out, which allowed for the sediment to go away. And by all accounts, we've actually seen some improvement in just that measure alone so far. I've asked our client over at 55 to continue to monitor that area. And as you'll all probably know, we've had some pretty significant downpours recently. In fact, July 21st, I was on my way home. I live in the same neighborhood here as Scenic Drive. And I was able to make my way over to the site during a pretty torrential downpour on the 21st. And I was able to notice that there was no ponding at the catch basin on 57 Scenic. So that's a good sign. I think we've had some of these issues in the past with the sediment buildup and not being able to really convey that flow through. But the cleaning of that and now having that manhole available for inspection by town personnel will help continue to maintain the integrity of that system and the functionality of that system. But despite that, we're still going ahead with a number of other changes on the site. One of the first is just a reduction in impervious area. We're reducing a number of areas of impervious that were built as part of this plan. The second measure is the trench drains that Mr. Conan had just mentioned. So the entirety of the driveway on the 57 Scenic side will have a trench drain that will allow for the stormwater runoff, which normally runs towards the retaining wall, which is generally near the common property line, to be captured. And that will discharge into the existing catch basin system that discharges to the town's system. So that would directly be a discharge now to the piping system. There's also areas of the patio, which we are adding a trench drain as well, where the water previously, or actually I could say currently, runs over the brick pavers towards the property line and will run over land until it gets into that catch basin. Now we'll be able to capture that with a trench drain and also be able to discharge that immediately into the catch basin and piping system that goes to the town. The third major improvement here is it's a 12-inch diameter pipe that leaves the catch basin from the common property line into the town's stormwater management system. But we're going to change that out with a 15-inch high-density polyethylene pipe. So that pipe is a modern pipe versus the corrugated metal pipe that's there existing. So just the friction loss alone in the corrugated metal pipe versus the high density polyethylene pipe and the upsizing of it, we're basically able to double the capacity of that pipe in consideration of the water just building up to the top level of the catch basin. So with all these improvements, we feel like we're in a good spot with the stormwater associated with the project here.
Does the board have any questions for Dan?
So
the stormwater as a result of the extended driveway and impervious?
Well, the stormwater issues were, you know, the result of all of the impervious surface and the driveway being one of those things. They have reduced the impervious surface, so they no longer need a variance for that, right? So the only variance now is just the driveway width, but I think in the interest of, you know, addressing some of the concerns that this board and the planning board have heard, you know, they wanted to explain some of the stormwater improvements that were also being proposed, and those were reviewed by the town's engineering department and the planning board and found to be acceptable, so, yeah.
What we're here to talk,
Oh, the variance is just the driveway width at this point, but, yeah.
We've worked through it. Okay. I don't have any more questions. Christine?
No questions.
Art?
Yeah, just refresh my memory. What's the total width of the driveway now, the maximum width? What's it going to be versus what it is?
It will be 31.8 feet after the trench drain will be installed on the western edge. There's 88 feet, linear feet of trench drain going along the entire length of the driveway along the western side of the property. And as called out in the trench drain details on that sheet, the trench drain and the concrete, you know, reinforcing it will be a minimum of 13 inches.
Okay, and what's the driveway now?
It is 32.9.
Okay, thanks. Oh, I do have, I'm sorry. That's all the way to the house, or is it, I forget, now the driveway starts narrow and
It's all the way, the driveway width is consistent, although once you get past the garage, it is reduced in width. Yes, if you look at the plan at the southern end of the driveway, you'll note that to the left of the garage, there is a small asphalt area. And so the proposed trench drain will run along that parking area adjacent to the garage, all the way to the end of the driveway where it meets Scenic Drive.
thank you.
So Dan, just, was it 17 feet 9 inches originally, or was it 17 feet .9, which is?
So it would be, it was 17.9.
And now it's 17 feet 4 inches?
And now it's 16.8 is the requested relief.
What was that, 16.8, I missed the question.
60,
That's
okay.
how much
math.
of a variance they would need.
Okay.
Oh, then you should let them.
I'm good.
Any questions?
So, basically, the current permitted is 15, and I happen to write the letter of July 17th. It says 31.8 is proposed. Is there any reason why that can't be lessened? That's like it's 50%, you know, it's 100%. It's twice the amount of what's permittable in the code, so is there any reason why it can't be made smaller? Do you have an alternative for that size of the driveway?
In evaluating alternatives, the code prohibits turnaround areas or you know, like a parking area where a vehicle could turn around unless it's beyond the required front yard. And given the existing development on the property, you know, the household, there really is no way to have a parking turnaround area that is accessible and could be utilized by the applicants in their household. The applicant's household consists of 7 driving age adults, each with their own vehicle, 2 of whom have accessible parking permits from the town, and we submit that the requested width is necessary for their safe entry and exit and use of their vehicles. We also note that they're prohibited from parking in the street for approximately half of the year by the town code, and short of shuffling all the cars every time someone wanted to leave, this is the only alternative, or the only solution that's viable for them.
So they won't come back with, you wouldn't consider anything smaller? Anything that is less of a variance?
We are open to suggestions, but this is the requested ask at this moment.
Okay.
Harry, any questions?
The two people with stickers, do they have oversized vehicles or just normal sized vehicles?
It's my understanding, no one has a very large truck, but the applicant, Frank Haddad, does have a truck, and modern trucks, as you may know, mirror to mirror, have a width of approximately 8 feet. So once you start opening doors and then, throw in any car that's not a subcompact, you're quickly looking at, 24 plus feet in width to have two cars parked side by side and be able to open a door without hitting the other.
But that has to do with the vehicle, not the fact that the person happens to be handicapped.
Correct, and we'd submit that, in addition to that 24 feet minimum for two cars to be able to be parked and open a door, you need extra width for Frank's parents to be able to safely get in and out of the cars.
Because of their disability or because of the space in the driveway?
Because of their disability, they need extra room to maneuver to get in and out of the vehicles when the when the vehicle doors are opened. So that need for extra space and the, modern cars, larger width is what drives the need for the requested variance.
So if there's room for the door to be fully extended open, what additional room would they need to maneuver?
I have not witnessed them enter and exit their vehicles. Presumably they use a walking aid, and that requires some additional room.
We'll take comments from the audience.
If I may add a couple other points. Out of these, we submit that the 5 factors do weigh in favor of the applicants. These are, this is a residential improvement in nature. It will not be a detriment to the neighborhood. And the applicants have addressed this board and the planning board's concerns over the stormwater issues in the area. We also note that in surveying 55 nearby properties using Dutchess County's GIS, 40 of the 55 driveways exceed the maximum permissible width of 15 feet. 10 of those driveways exceed 25 feet, and 4 of those 25 have widths equal to or greater than the applicant's driveway. This was noted in Exhibit B of our submission dated November 21st, 2025. And I note that the largest driveway we identified was 52 feet based on this board's precedent in adding on a U-shaped driveway both sides of the U and determining the width. We also note that this is not a college rooming house, nor will it be used as a college rental by the Haddads, and that its condition and location are such that it will unlikely be used as a college rooming house in the future. As I mentioned earlier, there really is no alternative solution available to the applicants due to the zoning setbacks and the existing improvements on the property. And in addition to, the aforementioned, I note that in Exhibit D of our submission dated December 19th of 2025, we called out the neighbors that were in support or had no objection to the application, which, are essentially many of the surrounding properties. Would try to pull it up on the screen for you all, but I don't want to make everyone go through that again. And I note that this is a type 2 action inherently. Thank you.
The board should note too that the applicants are working with the town board and seeking a license because the driveway does extend into the town right-of-way, and does a retaining wall and I think a mailbox and something. So they are working to see if the town board will give them a license agreement to allow those things to remain in the town right-of-way or not.
What would happen if the license was not granted? What would happen if it was or it wasn't?
If the license is granted status quo, and if the board grants the variance to allow the status quo driveway, if the license by the town board is not granted, then the driveway will need to be pulled back and the improvements will be pulled back onto the applicant's property.
Or that would only change the depth, not the width.
Correct. Well, it would then be 15 feet, I would assume, running through the right-of-way to get to the road, but that would be something for them to discuss with the town board, potentially.
How far into the right of way is it?
It crosses the right-of-way, well, I don't know offhand, I think it's 5 or 6 feet.
You can see it on the plan set. It's,
Yeah, mailbox, et cetera.
don't
It's
know if
just
there's a
something for the board to keep in mind.
I don't see a measurement, but.
Do you want to close the other one?
Using my measuring tool in Adobe, I came to approximately 6.5 to 7 feet is how far. Oops, pardon me. That's the asphalt portion of the driveway.
Okay.
The total distance is approximately 12.5 feet.
Yeah.
But if you look at surrounding properties in the area, that's fairly consistent with how far the driveways go.
Right.
Although not as many of the surrounding properties have pillars. Although I do note that one of the applicants' stone pillars contains their mailbox.
And was that, Lisa, was that uncovered through this whole process here?
Yeah.
I'm sorry?
The licensing encroachment, was that whole discovered through this process?
That was, yes, as part of all this came.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Anybody in the audience have any comments on this application? Would you mind stating your names for the record?
Healy Shaw.
I'm not actually going to be speaking.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're going to provide tonight is true and complete to the best of your knowledge?
Yes. Good evening, the board. My name is Healy Shaw, and I'm the owner of the 57 Scenic Drive. And I am the westerly neighbor, where most of the pavement and the improvements were done on this side. There's some that's being removed, but that's on the easterly end. On the westerly end, that's the neighbor I'm on the side, is none of that is being removed as part of the impervious coverage or for them to allow the pavement. So just want to make that very clear that I'm on the westerly end, and not much has been proposed to remove. And the pavements is all staying. So I'm here tonight regarding the improvements at the 55 Scenic Drive. My main concern is the stormwater drainage and potential impact on my property at 57 Scenic Drive. I understand the drainage improvements are being proposed, and including the trench drains and connection to the existing drainage system. However, before all of these proceeds, I would like town to confirm the existing stormwater system has been properly inspected, meaning all of the grass has been removed, and now I don't know what lies underneath those pavers. What kind of system? Is there any, like a natural seeping, through the grass that occurs? Has all of that been eliminated, which would require like a lot of planning for the stormwater. So I don't know, like, am I getting more water than before? And if that's the case, I would like the town to supervise that capacity and is the, that I understand the pipe was jetted, but what is the condition of that pipe? Is it, how often does that pipe needs to be maintained? Who's responsible for that? Was there a camera inspection done? Like, I would like to see those, like, and how often would that need to be looked at between the two properties? Is naturally, as they mentioned, like, my property sits lower, and we bought the home in 2017, and this is how we bought it. We have not made any improvements to our property on that, between the property lines, and they have done a lot. But it's just naturally sits low. So I think the newer trench lines that they're trying to put together and connect to the same drainage, which is the town's, which they do have the right to do that. But then my question is that, does that drain have enough capacity to take all of the water? Because now we got rid of all of the natural way of seeping in the water. And so my question is that camera inspection, I would like the report, the condition of the pipe, who's maintaining it. I understand I also want to know whether the town engineer evaluated all of this, what happens with the natural way of seeping in versus I believe it's a concrete underneath. I don't know what's under the papers, to be honest. I don't know what to expect, just don't know. But including the runoffs and hardscapes, the new hardscapes, all of the roof draining water, am I expecting all of that water to come only on my side? Because, I also have the other concern is the pitching. The way it pitches, it's it looks like it's all pitching towards me. I mean, maybe the town engineer, I think I asked them, they can come and look at it from my angle. And I would want that trench drainage to catch all the water, not put it in the existing drain and just push it out to the street. I mean, I don't know what the capacity is for that drain anymore. And I also understand the highway superintendent identified previously unknown manhole. We had no idea about this. We bought the house, just how it is. And drainage structure. I would like a clarification whether the pipe is functioning. Is it connecting anywhere? Or how is it affecting this whole situation? I understand we discovered this and everybody's talking about it, but what impact does it have to the stormwater drainage solution, and the proposal that's being made? Just another. I also want to make sure the resulting increase in the stormwater runoff, because the grass is removed. So has that been properly calculated? How much, because of the way the pitching is going and down the stream, can that safely handle all the additional flow? I know they had mentioned they're gonna install a bigger pipe than what it exists. And so I want the town engineer to tell me that that's going to be enough. And my concern is also simply to make sure drainage solution protects both properties and does not create or increase the risk of water backing up towards the 57 Scenic Drive. I respectfully ask the town to provide relevant drainage reports, property lines, site plans, inspection camera, or whether it was a camera CCTV inspection reports were done, and all of the discovery within the new manhole. How does that impact my property? And before any of this work proceeds, and if there is, once the work begins, what is the timeline and something, if I can get something so I can be ready or know what's going on. And I understand right now we're only talking about the driveway width, but I'm a little bit confused, and I'm like, I know this is related to the stormwater, which is kind of, but, I mean, if this is not the right place, I mean, where else do I go? If this is like, this is related to the stormwater, related to the driveway when it was all redone. So, I mean, is this the right place and, right?
The town engineer is not here, it doesn't come to these meetings. The town engineer did participate in the planning board process, which, where they did the land contour permit and the lot line revision. They reviewed all of the plans that were submitted, and all of the, so there would be an opportunity to put you in touch with the engineering department. We could do that. It won't happen here at this meeting, but we could follow up some other time, yeah.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anybody in Zoom that would have any comments on this application? It does not appear so. So, I think we want to do similar to we did with the other one, is get a feel for where everybody would vote. And we could,
Question.
yes.
I think it's for our legal counsel. If we granted this, and if these people sold the house, does
The variance stays.
stays, okay?
The variance goes,
With the
and all
property.
variances go with the property, and arguably should not relate to the users of the property.
Okay.
So, the fact that these particular applicants have 7 vehicles and 2 of them are accessible vehicles, arguably, it's still a single-family residence, and you should treat this in the same way as you treat every other driveway request for a single-family residence, because the zoning laws are for the use, not the user. So,
Okay, thank you.
So if you agree with that, we could do a poll and offer them.
Sure.
Okay. So how does everybody feel about this? Would we be inclined to grant the variance, or?
Dan, just so you know, the reason we're doing this is there's a 5-member board here, and 2 people are missing and arguably will be present in September. And to see whether you would like the opportunity to keep the public hearing open.
Thank you.
Before I answer, I'd like to know if we didn't grant the variance and they had to remove that part of the driveway, does that automatically correct the water issue?
Doesn't guarantee, but
You can potentially ask Dan Kohler, who might have the answer to that, but.
Did you hear my question, Dan?
Yeah, I did. I mean, I think the stormwater improvement we're proposing, as I mentioned, the change from the 15 or the 12-inch CMP or the corrugated metal pipe to a 15-inch high-density polyethylene pipe doubles the capacity of that. So it's a good measure to have anyway. Obviously, one of the reasons why we're proposing that is because we are taking that trench drain water and we're putting it right into that system, and we want it to work better than it's currently working. So that's the proposal, and that's part of us hopefully maintaining the driveway width that we have proposed tonight.
Thank you.
so would we inclined to grant the variance, or?
If we grant the variance and they don't get the license, does that make the variance moot?
No, because what you're granting is the variance for the driveway that's on their property. And the license would be for the driveway that's off their property. So they're 2 separate issues.
Anyone? Would you be willing, inclined to grant, or
Deny.
Art?
I deny.
So,
At
I'm
this
sorry,
point,
there's 5 people here, so we have 2 votes that for a potential denial. So I think it's in the applicant's interest to keep the public hearing open until next month, and perhaps take in what you've heard here, maybe come back with a slightly alternate plan or some, other alternates. But there also will be additional members next month, so you can see where things land next month.
we will take advantage of that opportunity. Thank you.
So the comments will be registered into the record. Mike, can you point that to somebody that might get the answers?
Yeah, actually, if you want to call my office, tomorrow or sometime this week, I see what we can talk about getting you in touch with the engineering department, okay?
Okay, so you wouldn't have to come back if you didn't want to, you could zoom in if you.
Well, if she has questions,
Yes.
right.
So I move to adjourn this to the August 12th?
Nope.
September 12th, yep, that one.
I'll
September 12th
second
meeting.
that one. So 12th or the 14th?
It's the 14th.
14th is September 14th.
I still,
Who'd you say the September meeting?
I tried to, I gotta look for it. Second,
second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So that motion carries. Thank you. So let's do the lead agency and then we'll take a quick break.
Oh, okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So there's two requests for lead agency. 26 Vassar.
All right, yeah, okay, so yeah, 27 Vassar Road is Fitzgerald Tile. They have some, the site plan before the planning board, to redevelop one of the portion of the building because they don't have a certificate of occupancy for something that was built there many years ago.
Years ago.
So anyway, so there's a site plan application that the planning board's reviewing. They're proposing to be the lead agency for that. It may or may not come, it probably will come here at some point for variance if it proceeds. So, everyone good with that?
Yep. I move to allow the planning board to take lead agency.
Second. Mike, that building's been there about 30 years or more.
What's that?
That's been about 30 years or more.
Yeah, yeah, it's been a long time.
Yeah. Okay.
All those in favor, Art?
Aye.
Any opposed? So that motion carries.
The second one is Marist University, the Science Building Edition. You may have read about this in the paper, but they are looking to expand the science building, which is on Beck Place, on their campus. Again, I think maybe there's going to be some dimensional variance. I'm not sure if there's going to be any variances on this one, but we'll find out. Again, planning board wants to be, is looking to be the lead agency for secret review.
So I move we
Consent
consent to lead agency for 25 Beck Place.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So that motion carries. I move we take a 10-minute, come back at 8:10.
Okay.
So 12 minutes. All those in favor?
Aye.
See you good. 10 after. Okay, I call us back into. I call us back into session. Okay, so, number 6? Yeah.
Number 6.
So first one we have is number 6. 9 Alfred Drive. This is the pool deck. It's the pool and 2 sheds, right? Right. So, I mean, based on what he described, the pool's been there for 30 years. The sheds have been there for at least 20. I don't see any concerns with this.
It's actually the deck attached to the pool, right, that's getting the variance, so it's a deck and 2 sheds.
Or the pool?
Well,
I thought it was the pool.
the pool, the pool becomes part of the structure when you attach a deck to, from, house to deck to pool, so,
Semantics.
yeah.
We'll call it pool/deck.
Okay,
Yep.
deck pool. So, I offer these findings. Whether whether an undesirable change will be produced to the character of the neighborhood or a detriment to nearby properties. I don't think so. The pool and the sheds have been there for a while, and it's pretty consistent with other properties in the area. Whether the benefit could be sought by the applicant, could be achieved by some other method. Not really, it's a small property. There's not really many options, and they've been existing for some time. Whether the request for the area variance is substantial, yes, but I don't think that's any reason to deny or anything. Whether the proposed variance will have an adverse impact on physical or environmental conditions, there's no evidence of that. Whether the alleged difficulty is self-created, yes, but that's no reason to deny. I have for those findings. Christine?
I move that the board approve the request for an area variance set forth in item number 6. This decision is based on a review of the application, testimony of the applicant, testimony offered in the public hearing, and results of site visits by board members. In approving this variance, the board adopts the findings as set forth by the chair. So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So that motion carries. Number 7, 61 Marple. So this is a corner lot, a very busy road, and I think to the applicants, it really wouldn't have been an issue, except he's on that, the side lot is already close. Does anybody have any concerns with this? Okay, so I offer these findings. Whether an undesirable change will be produced to the character of the neighborhood or detriment to nearby properties, no, this is very consistent with lots in that area. Whether the benefit could be sought, the benefit sought by the applicant be achieved by some other method, no, it's just kind of the layout of what the property looks like. Whether the request of the area variance is substantial, again, I think it may be just based on the lot size, but mathematically, I don't think it really is. Whether the proposed variance will have an adverse effect on or impact on physical or environmental conditions of the neighborhood district, there's no evidence provided to that. And whether the alleged difficulty is self-created, yes, technically, but that's no reason to deny. So I make those findings. Art?
Sure. Excuse me. I move that the board approve the request for an area variance set forth in item 7. This decision is based on a review of the application, testimony of the applicant, testimony offered in the public hearings, and results of site visits by board members. In approving this variance, the board adopts findings as set forth by the chair.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So that motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thanks for sticking around.
Thank you, everyone.
Night.
9. Number 9, 12, 12 Stanley. So here we're converting a garage to existing living space. Remind you, they had septic on one side, the leach field on the other side. There's really not much they can do. Does anybody have concerns with this? So whether an undesirable change will be produced to the character, neighborhood, or detriment to nearby properties, no, it's consistent with the neighborhood. Whether the benefit can be sought That the benefit sought by the applicant be achieved by some other method? No, basically, they don't really have any other options based on the layout of the property. Whether the request of the area variance is substantial, mathematically, but there's really no other options that exist. Whether proposed variance will have an adverse effect on or impact on the physical or environmental conditions of the neighborhood. No, there's no evidence provided to that. And whether the alleged difficulty was self-created. Yes, but that's no reason to deny, so I offer these findings. Linda?
Okay. I move that the board. Oh. I move that the board approve the request for an area variance set forth in item number 9. This decision is based on a review of the application, testimony of the applicant, testimony offered in the public hearing, and results of site visits by board members. In approving this variance, the board adopts the findings as set forth by the chair. So moved.
Second. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So that motion carries. Number 10. Okay, so this is South Hills, Giacomo's. I think regardless of how we interpret it, they were above the roof line, right? It's the simplest way to do it. Does anybody have any concerns with this?
No, I think it's fine.
Okay, this one had a staff report, right?
Yeah, good. And this is also an unlisted action, so first you gotta, read some little seeker step.
Thank you. I highlighted it. So I move that the ZBA determine that there's no other involved agencies and declare itself the lead agency for this action.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So I move that the ZBA determine that this action would not have significant adverse impact on the environment issue a negative declaration.
Second.
Christine, second. So all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
So we don't get in trouble.
Yeah, I
Sign
know.
right
Gotcha,
there.
sorry. So moved. Yeah, your turn.
So is this number 10?
This is number 10.
10.
I move that the board approve the request for a variance set forth in item number 10. This decision is based on a review of the application, the testimony of the applicant, testimony offered in a public hearing, the results of site visits by board members, and the staff reports. In approving this variance, the board adopts its findings. The determination is found in items 1 through 5 of the staff report.
The planning board granted this already? Is it concluded before the planning board?
No, it's done for lot line and architecture.
So should
this
we
month.
make it a condition that, the lot line revision's not going to affect this one way or the other, right? They'd either have to remove the encroachment or
Right.
get the lot line revision.
Right, so I think we're fine.
Okay, so
Yeah.
no conditions. Thank you.
So we got a motion, need a second?
Second.
Second.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So that motion carries.
Why do you look at me when you say that?
Because I'm waiting for the feedback, the visual feedback. Okay, so number 8, this is South Hills Commons. So does anybody have any concerns with this one? I feel like all of them. Does anybody have any concerns with this one?
Traffic.
I know that the neighbor had brought up some landscaping that maybe needed to be replaced.
But they said they'd take care of all that, right?
Right, so I think we should still condition that, right?
Yeah, and the planning board will still be taking another crack at this, so if you approve the variance, then we can take that comment also back to the planning board and they can maybe.
Right, my 2 cents on this, not necessarily legal, is that the variance you're granting is for a back property that's very distant from this pump house and the property that's in question. So I'm sure that the same concerns will be raised at the planning board level. And I think the planning board is definitely the appropriate entity to figure out what type and nature of screening and so on would be appropriate. So you can certainly, request that the planning board consider it, but I don't know that I would definitely not get into the weeds on what screening would be appropriate.
So we'll just put it a condition that the planning board will review the screening. Is that
Yeah,
fair?
I mean, I would just do it as a separate request to the planning board, and then we can convey that to the planning board, that the ZBA requested.
Okay. So,
So this is. The setback.
question on that?
No, so it's the setback on the lot size. The,
Yeah, so what do we do about the setback?
I would for now deem it to be withdrawn based on the applicant's testimony, and if they decide they need to come back for it, we can renotice it and have them come back, but if they redesign it in such a way that they don't need it, then, yeah.
So,
So we're gonna withdraw
We're gonna deem
the
the
setback variance.
setback variance
and it's just
withdrawn.
the density
Yeah.
variance.
Should you, vote on the density and then adjourn?
We could, but I don't know how long it would take them to get back to, I mean, either way, whatever the board's comfortable with. Yeah. It has
already
been
closed
noticed,
it.
it is
I mean, we
legally pending. You have 62 days, so, from when you close the meeting. So you could vote on the one, adjourn the decision on the other, if you want, until September, or just deem it withdrawn based on the applicant's testimony, and if they want to come back, make them renotice.
And they'd have to just apply again.
Yeah.
I mean, they made it pretty clear that they're intending to do it. I think if we take them at their word and go with it.
I think the only question would be if there's, as she started thinking about it, whether there's like infiltration practices or something, or some reason why it actually can't get moved. I think they'll know pretty quickly, but, yeah.
So we can deem it withdrawn and just work on the density, or vote on the density.
So your two options, definitely the board should address the density issue tonight. For the other application, for the other variance request, you have two options. One is just deem it withdrawn based on the testimony, and this board would then be done with it unless it comes back. Or the other would be adjourn the decision on that to the September meeting, to see if there's, but I don't think there'll be a submission by then either. So you could even do it to the October meeting. It's probably cleaner just to deem it withdrawn.
I think so.
Yeah.
Do we have to do anything, or we just move on and deem it?
Just deem it
No motion,
withdrawn
no
and,
nothing.
right.
So we're only talking about the density then, right?
right.
So does anybody have any concerns with this?
Yeah, it's quite a bit per unit, and there is a lot of traffic on 9D. It's kind of a very condensed area with all of the other buildings.
So the traffic, I mean, that was brought up by a
Right.
neighbor, right?
Right.
It's nothing that we can control.
Right,
This
yeah,
is-
we can't control it.
6 additional units on that lot.
Right,
So it's 6 to 1.5 cars, what would that be?
yeah.
9 cars coming and going
I
per
mean,
day.
that's not really, yeah,
And they
that's
currently
true.
have 24 and 25 is allowed, so they're really going 5 over.
Yeah. And they need a variance of 1,104 square feet per unit,
You
so
gonna do
they're
this one?
smaller, what?
No, it's our chairman. You gonna do this one?
I can.
Sure. Your turn.
No.
It's your
Oh, you just wanted art. So I'll offer these findings unless there's any other conversation.
No,
So whether an undesirable change would be produced to the character of the neighborhood or a detriment to nearby properties created by granting this variance. This is in addition to a new or an existing building neighborhood, so it's actually very consistent. Whether the benefit of the applicant could be sought through some other method. No, based on the size of the existing buildings, this is the only way that would fit. Whether the requested area variance is substantial, yes, but that's factored into the planning of what this outcome should B, whether the proposed variance will have an adverse effect on the impact of the physical or environmental conditions. There's no evidence provided to it. If anything, this project has helped the drainage in that area. And whether the alleged difficulty was self-created. Yes, but that's no reason to deny.
There's a staff report on this.
Yeah, Mike, but what did you say?
Yeah, but it's a very neutral staff report, so we said that
Okay.
there should be findings, so.
And I'll also offer Mike's staff report into the findings. Okay, so I will do this one at Art's request.
I don't want you to get rusty.
Yeah. So I move that the board approve the request for the area variance set forth in item number 8. This decision is based on a review of the application, testimony of the applicant, testimony offered in public hearing, and the result of site visits by board members. In approving this variance, the board adopts the findings set forth by the chair and my staff report. In approving this variance, we would just like to make the request that the planning board review the screening. So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved. And we adjourn.
Second.
I'll see you September 14th, Mr. Chair.
See you in September.